welcome to the show, Mazo and Replicate. Thank you so much for joining a Unite Mike show. I'm really excited for this.
Nice to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Oh, of course. If anybody doesn't know, which would be a shock because the most of people hanging out in here are from Mazo's chat, but Mazo and Replicate, of course, the winners of the Brazil region. Bit of a spoiler alert for this VOD review, I guess. It's not really a rewatch, but we'll figure it out. Obviously, they are headed to Worlds in Japan in like a month. It's coming up so fast. Worlds is crazy fast. It's gonna be a ton of fun. I can't wait. But yeah, we're gonna watch the Brazil region. I already said a bunch of congratulations. doobsnax, any opening questions that you have for either Mazo or Replicate?
Yeah, Mazo, what is your hair regimen? Your hair looks amazing.
All right, so the thing is, every day I shower, I use shampoo and conditioner, and that's it.
No, there's got to be more.
That's my daily hair routine.
Okay, I understand. You don't want to release the secret. I get it. That's okay.
It's true. I've shown countless times. Both the shampoo and conditioner I use, they're both like $1.
They're both $1 too. Oh no. Okay, we're all spending too much money on our hair product.
That's the thing. That's the problem.
That's the tech. All right, Replicate. Same. Have you adopted the same hair care style?
Every day, shampoo and conditioner. Just that.
Sweet. Good to hear. Okay, well, awesome. Let's jump into the VOD review portion. So I'm gonna kick off this broadcast. So this is gonna be game number 1 of the grand finals. Now, Baby Mazon, talk to me. You came here into the grand finals from losers finals. So throughout the tournament, things got a little wonky. You actually lost to this team earlier on in the tournament. I believe it was 0-2, right? So what happened between you and Omega Esports to kind of set up this spot in the first place?
Okay, so first series, like winners finals, we do have a plan that we practice around, and we did have a lot of success when playing Gudra, and it was actually the same build that we seen Glutano use in their winners finals with the double band and the slick spoon. So in practice, it's like, okay, Gudra is amazing. Nobody's going to be expecting this. If they expect this, they won't have any practice against this. So it's going to be amazing. We're going to win. And oh my God, draft geniuses. Mazo plays every champion. This is amazing.
Sure.
Best team in the world.
Okay.
Then we play 2 games. We lose both games. And Replicate's like, okay, so Gudra sucks. We're never picking it again. And full reset on to our normal comps to the next series against them.
Nice. Way to put your foot down, Replicate.
In losers finals too.
Yeah.
And in the first game we pick it.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
I was just gonna say, way to put your foot down. But I guess eventually your team got the Gudra back in some way. Okay. Very
we played
interesting.
three games straight and never did it again. Never.
Okay. Mazo, what do you like about the Gudra? Why was it getting forced?
So the thing is, we were having a lot of success when we had our jungler Fall playing the jungler for this series, right?
Yeah.
He would be playing Zoroark and Dodrio and this kind of assassins. And if he could play that, I'd play something to be a frontline to engage a fight. And Wolf could play an attacker who would be. We have a core of 4 players, so a tank, 2 supports, and an attacker, and a speedster running around. That had a lot of success because that's a pretty simple way to execute, right? It's not complicated at all. And Gudra would enable that. But, well, early game is not that simple. Even though Gudra can be strong pre-5, from 5 to 7, it's not the best character. And we were finding ourselves at like 200 points disadvantage, and that's not really good coming into late games. So, yeah, pretty much that's what I like, what is good, and what is bad at Gudra all at once.
Okay. doobsnax, what are your thoughts on the Gudra? I'm curious. I've been just so everybody in chat and the two of you know, I get flamed for my how do I call this? Backing of certain Pokemon when teams pick it quite a bit by the other casters. They do not think highly of my opinions any longer. So I just I'm curious what doobsnax thinks about all these Gudra picks running around.
Okay, so I am a perennial lover of choosing off meta stuff. I have not seen a Gudra look good. That's kind of every time it's locked in, I get gassed to the gills about it because I want to see a Gudra look good, and it just hasn't delivered yet. I am always excited to be wrong, for the record, but that's currently where I stand. At least when NA or EU has pulled out Gudra, not great.
Not great at all. Okay, I can get behind that opinion. All right, let's see. Also, I think I can turn this quality up a little bit. Let's try. There we go. That should be a bit better. Okay, one thing I was kind of curious about when we were watching the draft between these two teams is you had Candle like so high in draft priority. Also, I think it was in your first pick on side 2. Why Chandelure so high when Trevenant was still available?
Okay, so against Omega specifically, their attacker has like only 2 characters that he played for all the tournament. And
Okay.
Jiduash also only plays 2 characters in practice and scrims, which were Ninetales and Chandelure. So he actually went from making very good games in winner semis and winner finals against us with this character, and we're like, okay, let's just pick Chandelure. This character is broken. Just throw it whatever. Should be bot lane, jungle, whatever we want. This character is gonna be good. So that's basically the mindset behind it for this first game, at least.
I hear you. Cool.
I think Candle is underrated. So seeing it pick that high, I think is more of where it deserves to be rather than where it should be, if that makes sense, at least of what we've seen. And I mean, every time we've seen a high level player such as yourself or, and the individuals like Curios and stuff that have picked it up in NA, it's looked phenomenal. It's like looked really good. In tandem with some of the other picks that they have. So I personally love seeing it climb up the list in that draft prio, as you mentioned, Zoinks.
Mm-hmm. It's been my one trick on ladder. I tweeted about it today. I love this Pokemon so much. I think it's a really good time. Replicate as the coach of 0-0. Like, how much are you involved in drafts? Like, do you join drafts mid tournament at all, or just like before and after during scrims and stuff like that?
During scrims, of course, and during tourneys, like most of the time, I try to kind of help the team with the picks and remember them. What did we discuss and what did we practice? Things like that. Not like saying for someone to pick something or something like that, but more playing a role of remembering what's good, what we practice, what has the best win rate, trying to help the team to build a draft that they're comfortable with.
I gotcha. Yeah,
that's more of what I do.
Cool. Mazon, does your team forget a lot? Yeah, I mean, we have replicate.
We've actually had trouble in some we call it official games, but like March finals.
Yeah,
with forgetting picks and whatsoever. We've picked wrong sometimes during. I think this regional it didn't happen, but in AOS Cup we picked wrong. Like it happens. It doesn't happen a lot, but replicate definitely helps a lot of it.
That's awesome.
If he wasn't around, I'm sure it would happen a lot more. But like we do have a couple problems. Like someone forgets, suddenly says, "Okay, I don't want that pick," and I'm a Switch player, so it's a Switch player, so it's hard to switch characters at this last second.
It is.
Sometimes it happens, really, and like having a replicate really helps with that happening as little as possible. Because like remember the picks and having the mindset of okay, you have this. You don't have to remember every single pick of your role. Having someone help with this actually helps a lot.
I guess so.
Hey, Zoinks, if I could jump in real quick about the game we're watching right now. That basement Reggie, the first bottom path Reggie, and then that kind of awkward goal zone siege there. You guys kind of got rinsed, to be quite honest. Is that something that in this grand finals you use as, okay, was that an execution error? Maybe this is a question for Replicate. Do you see that and go, okay, we have the right approach, we just executed poorly? Or do you go, wow, our approach was completely wrong and we need to go back to the drawing board? When you see two situations like that as the coach develop live in game, how do you make those adjustments or how do you recognize that?
The thing is, there was a little detail that Zoroark was like level 5 going into their jungle, and he came back top and double killed and kind of snowballed into this thing. So it was a difficult situation. So I tried to take the root of the problem, not the situation itself. I think it was kind of troll to do the things we did, but trying to fix not fix the little things, but what we could have done better overall, like for the next game, laning phase. My players are probably the best laners in Brazil, so I tried to help them with the things they could have done better. and the creativity during games is for them. I kind of
Something
let
Replicate
them
does really
play.
well is something Replicate does really well is not focusing on things that are major problems. So let's say the problem is I missed a skill shot or someone missed a skill shot. Replicate is not going to be like, oh, you can't miss a skill shot. Everybody knows that, right? Like, oh, you missed
Mhm.
the secure on Rayquaza. Like everybody knows you missed the secure on Rayquaza. So Replicate focuses really well on things that we might not be seeing and that might need to be focused. That, speaking of, may fix things for the next game.
Yeah.
Right, and
As
make
I
it
said,
maybe
like
put you in a. I'm
the
sorry. Go ahead.
second game, the second Zoroark gank was one of those things, like trying to help Fob and Leo to not get ganked again and our early game to stack and snowball into good things. That was the major thing I talked about after the game.
I gotcha. So essentially, rather than highlight, you missed this skill shot, you go, well, we wouldn't have had to have that skill shot if we fixed this 2 minutes earlier. Then we would
Yeah.
have been in a better position to win Rayquaza straight up rather than depend on somebody using that skill shot. Something along those lines.
Something amongst those like.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a great call early on. I mean, that Zorak hitting 2 ganks in a row and locking you all out. That is that's pretty ridiculous. I mean, yeah, but we talked about it kind of a bit off broadcast. This first match, bit of a stump. Omega's definitely got control of this one. You were holding on okay to a certain point, but is that free for Zera? I don't know exactly how to pronounce that Zorak's name, but they're kind of popping off this match. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
So
we say Ferzera in Portuguese.
Okay,
Go ahead.
perfect. You nailed it.
So the main plan going into regionals was Ben Zoroark, and
Mhm.
after we saw the winners semifinals, we started overthinking about a lot of things, and we ended up not banning Zoroark, and he's a talented player with it. It was just difficult to deal with it. We kind of fixed it in late series, but he's actually cracked on it.
Yeah.
He's really good on Zoroark.
That honestly seemed like an answer to a lot of different regional problems. We just gotta be banning this Pokemon. Like, it's so
Yeah.
absurdly strong. But yeah, it is a. I think it was a key that a lot of teams were able to discover here. All right. Well, I think we can kind of tell how this match is going to shake out. I think we can skip ahead to our next matchup. So obviously, Zoroark is going to be your initial ban. That makes a lot of sense. And then you first pick Urshifu, right? So you're giving up a Slowbro in favor of an Urshifu. Why are we doing this?
I don't remember actually. Okay, why did
So-
are you just bad at the game or?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yes. We were exploring the Slowbro picking Scout with playing Trevenant basically. So
Okay.
we gave him Slowbro and tried to win lane with Trevenant and basically force him to ult someone he didn't want to ult with Slowbro. So with Woodhammer and Horn Leech,
Sure.
and basically explore the skull that people were using in Brazil. I don't know why.
Okay, gotcha. But just try to exploit the Slowbro, get up in their face, make them force an ult out of them instead of grabbing Mazo or Wolf in the situation. Okay, Double Defender, insanely popular in a lot of regions. However, I mean, Blastoise is kind of that like pseudo all-arounder defender, kind of that works on both. But this is the second game in a row you've played Blastoise. Is this like, would you consider this to be a key part of Double O Nation's strategy? Like, is this a big foul Pokemon? Big pick?
As Mazo said earlier, we were playing a lot of Gudra, so double frontline was something we were exploring a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fob was comfortable with all the speedsters, but if there wasn't Zoroark or Dodrio for him to play, he was kind of liking Blastoise a lot more
Okay.
than the other picks.
If I remember correctly, like for this series specifically, Fob was not feeling really at this moment, like game 2, coming out of losers, round 1, etc. Fob wasn't feeling too hot yet about Dodrio, so we didn't want to focus on that. So if we could pick Dodrio, like he really didn't want to use it. Omega also has this strategy that they don't use when they have a Urshifu, but as you can see right there, Dodo is coming on top lane as a Dodo, and that's That's
Mhm.
actually not what they usually do, because someone is going to be on top side for them like at 925, 928, because they skip buffs. They always give the bottom buff to their attacker player. So Casey Chandler is already level 5 at 9 minutes, which is like really
Okay.
uncommon because he
Yeah.
gets the blue buff and etc. So it's kind of hard to execute these speedsters on the top side against them, because they will send 3 people early on top side, and they're going to keep on reganking and reganking and reganking, and they're going to focus on getting their top laner going. Of course, that also puts our top laner a little bit behind, so it's kind of hard to not play a defender or either a Gudra on top side or a Blasters on top side. Makes it a lot harder to play against the speedsters, and Fob wasn't really feeling playing the speedster top side up until now in the game. We're going to see how the series is going to develop
Sure.
by the end of the night, but yeah, it's basically a comfort pick also against Omega specifically, because it's really hard to play a carry on top side against them.
Right, yeah, because it's just their hyper early aggression out of Omega. That's really interesting. Cool. Is Omega a team that you scrim like a lot? That you knew a lot about going into the tournament, or were they a bit of an unexpected grand final opponent?
Yeah,
In
Omega is
Brazil,
actually
they were like the main screen partners, I think.
we've actually been screaming against them since February, either February or January. I think February.
Wow.
Yeah, like every week, at least 2 times a week.
Cool.
Every single week we've screamed against them. Ever since their team wasn't named Omega, Omega is actually their sponsor. They were called Roar of Time at the beginning, and we're screaming against them ever since February. More specifically, every Tuesday and Thursday
Okay.
for 2 hours.
Got it. Very, very cool.
I got a question for the squad here. We're taking a look at Zero Nation, of course, and your Urshifu decided to go with the Rapid Strike build. Where does your necessary
There.
your Urshifu, you decided to go that. Ideally, you take a look across the board and you see Rapid Strike come out when there's another secure type ability on the team. But that kind of seems to be absent to me. So is the thought, rather than have a guaranteed secure tool, a better team fighting tool, and then you win the team fight, then pivot to objectives? Or is the objective secure secondary to what you're trying to do by selecting the Rapid Strike Urshifu here?
So
From what I remember, the biggest thing was the early game pacing, like trying to focus on early game, because as Mazo said, they are really aggressive on top side and trying to help the team, especially Gardevoir in this comp, to get like stronger in their early game. So trying to gank a lot, trying to invade a lot, and having a faster clear speed was a good factor too.
Mhm.
So it's a good matchup into Decidueye and Chandler, the Dark Urshifu, but I don't know. It was probably the main strat.
Yeah, just
one
win
thing-
early so hard.
Yeah, one thing I really like to do with Urshifu is like I'll go with a mindset of not really one. I mean, if you play full heal, you're probably playing Water Urshifu. If you're playing Eject Button, you're probably playing Dark Urshifu, right? But I like to not really fix myself to that thought. And if I go topside and I see like, okay, this is the freest gank ever if I'm Water Bear, I'm going Water, and like I know Water Bear has the tools to stomp a whole game off of one good gank, right? So if I see the gank is like so too free, like we can dive, we can stack, my top laner gets stacks, I get stacks, and the game is done from there, I'll get Water Bear. But if I see like, okay, they're not ganking, they're playing super safe, it's gonna be really hard to get a dive here. They have like Blastoise, so it's not really easy to play with it. They don't have like a Decidueye that's like really easy to deal with. I'll play Dark Bear, and like that's we planned beforehand, but actually what feels inside the game, what feels good, like our carrier, let's say, what the feeling of the moment also plays a big part on what bear we play.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, if your bear's looking like that, of course you're picking up 18 hits on the Unite move through the Flux Zone, getting a KO. Did I see you KO the Decidueye before it caught the Bliss Assistance too,
Yeah.
forcing it back onto the candle? It's nasty business out here. Holy smokes.
That was ridiculous. I mean, you just moved past Imprison. You just didn't care. You just kept going. I'm kind of into it. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Not an NA guard to Unite. I love to see that. Yeah. That's good to hear. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, two scaling Pokemon is also. I mean, you really are. You're saying you're all in on the early game because of your Water Baron. I mean, it's expected to do a lot. If you're playing Blastoise and Gardevoir, like you're really hoping that those will get powered up in time. If you're running these double level 9 evolutions, so it makes a lot of sense. All right, I think we know how most of this other end game will go. Let's like bring it down to. I mean, you get Regice, you siege base. That's cool. Let's get close to 2 minutes, and we'll watch final fight in this next matchup. Okay, Regieleki.
I mean, that's a great time to Regieleki right there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one thing I noticed, and especially watching the NAIC, is that a lot of NA teams, I don't know if it's because like stage nervousness or what happens, but they usually don't delay the last Reggie. Like they like to do it as soon they are up, they just do it at like 3:10, 3 minutes. Like I think it's such a waste of pressure. I mean, it's also you're getting the Regieleki for free. That maybe if you delayed it, it wouldn't be that free. Like someone could contest it, but it could have been just nerves. Like, I don't know if like that's a thing in NA or it's just this tournament thing.
Yeah, that is a really good point. I remember there was one. I don't remember the game for the life of me, but there was like a Blissey all alone in top path, and they just immediately knocked them out. I was like, why? They're at like half HP. Just wait and knock them out in 2 minutes, and then all of a sudden you have like one support out. Like this would have been huge. But yeah, sometimes stationers gets to it. That's a good point. Wow. Okay, very aggressive invade from this Dodrio. I actually kind of like this plan from Omega. You know, space you out. It's dedicating 2 members, but I mean, Soto is just kind of unkillable at this moment. Like,
yeah.
They're forcing the Slowbro to deal with them, which is obviously what you want, right?
The Trevenant tried to kind of force this Slowbro. He ulted the Blastoise.
Yeah.
First things in the fight, so that's the
plan. We're so spread out. We're so bad. What the hell? Watching this from outside is so weird.
I was actually gonna ask Buzzo. So, like, obviously, one of the main game plans in draft was bait out Slowbro. You got it, and then you almost back cap for some reason. Like, where's the team comms? Are you charging in now? Okay, here we go.
Okay, let's go.
Third HP, the Cotton Crash needs to come through, right? Knock arrow with the Decidueye ult, kind of sussy, but we're going back through. Picked up immediately on the Blastoise after that final arrow comes through. I mean, Mazo, the squad is looking good here. I mean, they threw the kitchen sink at you, and everybody's still standing, which is kind of where you want to be. I mean, right?
Yeah, but look at. Okay,
Fulb saved the match. Fulb's Blastoise just saves that match.
The game was what the hell?
All right, there's no way you should have won that game.
Yeah.
What the hell? The controller flip. It should be like the freest game ever, and we're getting flipped. Looks like last year. What the hell?
It's okay. Blastoise knocked them all up. You're good. That was close. Oh my word. All right.
Hey, skill diff.
I mean, you won that first fight pretty handedly, but I mean, the Dodrio just kind of making their time outside of it. Interesting. Okay, so now we're in the realm of something that's very familiar to me, and that's double defender bans across the board. So this makes sense, which means from what Omega was playing before, you probably expect a Zoroark pick on the other side, right? How good that Pokemon was. You put out a ban for it on the other side. If you're going into double defender, did they actually grab Chandler first pick?
No, for sure not. That's just
there's no way. Okay.
No shot.
Oh yeah, they pick her.
I remember this.
Yeah, that was the idea behind banning Lapras.
Like you have to pick either Urshifu or Zoroark.
Yeah, because now we get the Zoroark, and now Fulb. Okay. This is the Fulb development arc. He makes a good play last game. With the Blastoise. Now he's feeling pumped. Now he's feeling himself, and now we can pick Zoroark early, and then just. This becomes another series right now. Now that Fulb's pumped up, like everyone is like hyped to win. Like we're gonna win this. Let's fucking go. This is just like a whole new tournament for us.
Okay, someone needs to Venmo Soto for just being forced to play whatever you guys force him to play, because double defender ban and again Trevenant goes over to Omega. So poor Soto just having to play literally whatever this tournament.
No love for Snorlax out here.
Yeah, Mr. Mime over Snorlax, that is surprising. And Hoopa, also a lack of Hoopa, but...
Snorlax in Brazil historically has had bad results, actually.
Really?
Interesting. The tournament we lost, actually, we were spamming Snorlax, and like it was not working out. And like Soto is actually like top tier mine. Probably, I'm gonna say something that's like a little bit Maybe
say
a little
it.
bit out of hand.
Drag him.
But Soto is probably the best mime in the world, like hands
Let's
down.
go.
And
I'm here for it.
leaving it to him, it's just like you want either Snorlax or Mime. I'm gonna pick Mime, and I'm gonna pick every single farm in the bot lane. This Trevenant is gonna be 7 by the end of the game.
Yeah.
So like,
Okay,
yeah,
deal.
just go King.
Go King.
That's one thing that's always impressive to me is, when your tank players go, just give me this. It's going to be better. You're going to have to just trust. I'll have the experience share. It's going to be fine. So the fact that you all lean into that is phenomenal. Got to respect it for sure.
That's cool. I mean, Mazo, it's
is,
ancient history too, but you played in our Unite Mike's event forever ago, and we couldn't stop like fangirling over Soto in that match. That was back when Mamoswine was good for 20 minutes. That was one of my favorite showings of 0-0 for sure. And Zorak does Zorak.
We didn't have 0-0 back on the next Mayhem.
That'd be fun.
That'd be sick.
Should be fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Mazza, this Buzzwole is something I've seen from you pretty much all season. Like, you've been cooking on this Pokemon for a long time. I mean, what do you like about Buzzwole right now? Especially because you're playing top, right? Where you primarily were going jungle up until this point?
Yeah. We move a lot. Me and Fall, who plays bot, who plays jungle, who plays top lane. Like, it basically depends on the character. If it's either Zorak or Dodrio who's playing jungle, if it's Buzzwole, I'm playing top lane.
Okay.
But cool. What I really like about Buzzwole is like I get to be really creative with this character. I don't know if it's just like in Brazil people don't respect Buzzwole as much, or since they don't get much practice against it, they get caught off guard more by this character. But I'm flashing in and superpowering for all game long. I'm stomping lane. I'm getting people out of story like Gossip Flowers level 3, and this happens so much, and I'm really curious to play in Worlds to see like if people have better answers to it. Because Buzzwole in Brazil actually seems kind of unstoppable.
Really? Okay.
Like it's really a big difference from like any other character in topside. To be honest, like it creates so much pressure, it creates so much plays, and just really love this champion.
It's sick. Also, you weren't lying about Omega giving their bot lane attacker every blue buff. Like, A9's at 7 right now, and they're playing against a Mr. Mime Chandler lane. Like, that is not an easy one to do. That's kind of crazy.
I don't know. The thing is, this does get Chandler out of the early game, so I understand giving the blue buff to Chandler. I don't understand giving the blue buff to Ninetales, because like she gets Avalanche on level 4. Like, yay, she puts up a rock.
My favorite description of Ninetales. Yay, she puts up a rock. All right, let's jump to first Reggie fight here. Okay, shout out to Lel playing the ward of a Pokemon in Blissey. I love to see it. Valp hits 9. That's pretty huge. I mean, you're way higher. I mean,
they've just ruined this early stage of the game, right?
Zorak's so good. I mean, people ban this Pokemon at Worlds. I don't know what we're doing out here. Like, you gotta take it out.
I mean, he's barely getting touched, right? So 2 Worlds. So it's gonna be interesting seeing how all these great Zorak players go dashing around all around. Zorbo just being a priority pick just because Zorak exists.
Can we talk about Salto's spacing right there? The confusion blast on the Trevenant to put it off the wall, like onto the wall, and then putting the barrier up so it just can't walk through instead of doing the inverse for damage. It's sick,
Soto
man.
builds the best houses with Mr. Mime.
The best houses.
The Salto construction crew.
Could have.
Soto looks like he's playing Fortnite for real.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. I love the Fortnite cracked on sticks. Okay,
and they got an even break there, which isn't too impressive, right? Which is why you're able to stay so big on top, despite the same number of goal zones being gone.
Yeah. Even break is... I feel like even break is rough against a non-Hoopa team, right? Like, you want to bust that no matter what, but...
Yeah, I mean, the even break is suspect because there was no follow-up. Like, you break it and there wasn't even any action going on to the tier 2, which is at least sometimes an excuse you can make, right? To push through and get more follow-up points in. But yeah, such is not the case. Look at that schmoving out here, forcing the Urshifu to peel back. You're right, Southhouse dope.
Yeah. Sorry,
shout out.
Mazo, sorry, we need to get you off the show. We need to get Soto on. We're going to swap him out real quick. No, I think I asked Soto like forever ago if he ever wanted to come on the podcast. He's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I was like, okay.
Soto's really shy, like really
shy. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. So okay, I mean we're a little bit of dead time. You guys are cruising. You're killing this match. How's it feel to be going to Worlds 2 years in a row, Mazo? You excited?
Bro, it's amazing. I mean, it feels really good because it feels really rewarding, right? Because I actually last year, so a little bit of inside, a little bit of history. I have a full-time job last year, and like at the same time doing full-time jobs, college, and practicing all around, managing all this stuff. And I actually quit my full-time job last year when I joined XIS, when XX became our sponsor.
Wow.
So going towards last year felt really rewarding. Same with this year, like same thing, just our sponsor basically is the only thing that changed. We brought in a Replicate, changed one player, and we're basically the same team. It's really similar to how the Luminosity history, but like ours have gone bright, right? But it's similar to Luminosity history. Like they changed one player, they changed their coach, and they changed sponsors, and that's it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but the answer to the question is really rewarding. Like this is everything I wanted this year. Mm-hmm. Actually, like last year, all I wanted was to go to Worlds. This year, I really want to win Worlds. Like it would feel really shitty to go out on day one. Like that's why we're practicing how much we're practicing. I don't want to go out day one again.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd be really happy with anything that isn't doing like really well. Getting at least a grand finals this Worlds. But I really want to win it all.
Yeah.
I love that. And you need that type of energy going into Worlds, right? You can't just be, I mean, it's nice to be there, but you can't just be happy to be there, right? You have to force yourself to be excited to do the next step, which I think there are some teams that haven't been that are going to learn that lesson in a hard way this year in Japan, because they're just excited to be there. And maybe they're not putting the same time in, that, 0-0 Nation is.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's easy to say, right? Because we've been there last year. Like most of us have been there last year. Replicate's going for the first time, but like he gets the energy right from everybody else that wants to win worse and wants to do better than we did last year. And I mean, I think it would actually be strange. It would be weird for us if we would be happy with just going again, right? Like, well, we went last year, or hooray. So we already beat our. Oh, okay. Don't look at the camera right now.
Yeah, Mazo, where are you at right now, brother?
Like, okay.
Okay.
I was feeling myself a little bit too much in this game.
Oh, Soto domination.
Yeah, Soto is like amazing in the game. I don't even have to do anything. Like, look at this guy playing.
I mean, he did get every resource in the book. Let's not give Mazo. I mean, Soto kind of cruising through. That's so funny.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see you
just finishing it. It's like we want to win. I want to win. We're so bad, and like we're working towards it so much. And it feels amazing going 2 years in a row. Like I think the only thing worse than doing bad at Worlds this year would be not qualifying. Not qualifying would be like demolishing for us, like demolishing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you got that by just showing up for the tournament. When you got out of groups, right? You technically qualified for Worlds, so that's sick. Yeah, you had an amazing season altogether. And yeah. Well,
how is Lel still standing? Holy, they should have been KO'd. Feels like forever ago. Yeah. I mean, this is a support defender show. This little scrap we just saw for sure. Yeah. There's Mazo pulling up. I was like, I got KO'd before. We getting some more back right now.
Did you just cancel your alt there to speed it up? What was that tech when you were, or is that just superpower? Was I watching?
No, that's just superpower, but he had wicked blow, so I couldn't pull him up. So.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, what canceled the move animation? Okay. Sick. All right, well, hey, shout out, you won the next one. Spoiler alert, things go pretty well from here on. Let's jump ahead. Okay, yeah, first pick Zoroark, that makes sense.
This meta was the Lapras domination.
Yes.
It was red side needed to ban Lapras, so when we won red side banning Lapras, we were pretty confident we could win.
Okay, so that makes sense to me.
Actually, during the same patch, EU teams weren't banning Lapras that much, right? Lapras would go through and people would play it. I don't understand why. Why would you leave Lapras open? It's just you're trying to ego the opposing team. Like we can't win even if I have Lapras. That's the only.
I think it's a Nouns thing. Nouns was playing it, but also Nouns was okay giving it up. Like they just kept picking it because teams were giving it to them. But I don't know. Word on the street was announced as like we're okay playing against Lapras, so then I guess everybody decided they had to be. It was strange. I wasn't into it, but yeah, Brov's Lapras was just demolishing all tournament. It was kind of crazy.
We played Chandler so much, and our attacker hates Chandler. He must be feeling miserable during this series. What the hell? I don't even remember he played Chandler that much.
That's funny. Okay.
The fact that you're so high on Buzzwole and keep getting it last or like second to last pick has got to feel good, right? Like you keep getting this like super secret weapon that you just know is going to be able to take over the game, and you just keep getting it for free. That's got to feel good.
I mean, yeah, it even hand out good matchups against it, right? Because against Urshifu, Buzzwole feels just fine. Against Dodrio, Buzzwole actually feels really good. I know the bad matchup is just Ninetales, but I can stay away from it, right?
No,
it's not like she has
just dodge
that
that.
range. Yeah,
yeah,
simple.
Yeah, easy answers, easy. Yeah, cool. Speaking of how much you've all been practicing, is it basically you and True just running scrims on cooldown, or are you trying to scrim outside of your own region? What's that looking like recently?
We've basically been trying to figure out what other regions are using and what they are preparing.
Okay.
And most of our prep is going with Omega because that's who we played all the year. Like since February, we played against them. It seems fitting to keep doing it.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like we're still practicing with teams who have practiced all season long, right? Because even teams from outside of Brazil, they're going to Worlds. Like, why would you keep on practice with them? Like, if they would still want to practice with us, we will do it. Because at the end of the day, they did help us reach where we are right now, right? So we're gonna give priority to those teams who helped us through all the season.
Makes sense to me. Yeah. How you feeling about the other regions? Where do you think Brazil stacks up?
So this is hard to say because last year I had a really similar opinion to what I have this year, and it was a total mess.
Okay.
But still, I think we fare really, really. I don't want to say really, really well, but I think we are. People are gonna see us as underdogs, but we are not true underdogs. Like, I really like to say it's like Brazil is in CS:GO. Like they don't come in as favorites to win the thing, but it's not absurd if they win. Like it's not a full-on dark horse if they win.
Yeah.
I think we're in that spot.
That makes sense to me. Okay, yeah, you said Fall needed to get warmed up. They're kind of cooking.
Now he has confidence. He goes on tier turrets. He follows people on tier 2. Like
Milo is doing his thing.
I'm farming on tier 2 as well.
Yeah, dodged every skill
just
shot.
feeling ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, so okay, folks at home, that's what you do when you break a early goal zone in top path. You take all their farm and you score. All right, great. Class in end of session.
Yeah, class dismissed. Class dismissed. I mean, we're getting a clinic right now. The team is obviously grooving. I guess I have to ask, Mazo, when the team is, you're clearly feeling yourselves, you know, after like 2 consecutive wins, you guys are kind of hit another gear. What are the comms like right now? Are they just, is it like sheer focus, or are people starting to have a little bit more fun? Because they're like, okay, we're on now. Like now we can just cut loose.
To be honest, like I think Replicate can say better because he sees it from outside, right? I'm dead focused on the game, so I might not have the full scope of it. But as far as I remember, it's all that on focus. It's like when the game starts, when the announcer says go at the beginning of the game, something shifts in everyone's mind, and it's just like full on focus. Like this is all the marbles. This is like grand finals. You have to focus every single one. You can't like just lose a game because you're like, oopsie, you missed this mighty on the Rayquaza. Like you can't do this, right? So you have to be that focused on every single time, every second. Because last year, actually, I started feeling myself through grand finals, and I lost a game by myself because I was feeling myself too hard at the end of the game.
Thanks, Mazo.
Thanks.
Yeah, Replicate actually played against him last year. That's why he's playing.
Okay, got you. Replicate benefiting. That's really funny.
So Replicate, pivot to you then. As Mazo said, he's so dialed in during these games that maybe you can't really tell. From an outsider looking in, you're watching your team kind of dominate. They're hitting that next gear, like we mentioned. What are you seeing? How did the team come off to you while you were watching them play?
Yeah, as I said, they are probably the best players in Brazil and one of the best players in the world, and mechanically wise and laning phase wise. So I try to, as they are locked on things like macro and trying to do plays and be mechanically good, I try to help them with laning phase and things they can't see from inside the match.
Mhm.
Since I played a whole year, it's easier for me to see to to kind of know what they are not seeing and
Okay.
see the problem. Like they, the main focus can't be in the little plays and the simple plays. It has to be something we are doing wrong, and that's my main focus during the games. Like trying to see if anyone is uncomfortable with any picks, if something is doing, if something is being done extremely wrong, and that's my main focus during the games. Like trying to help the team after the game, um, bringing good things to the table.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Well,
Replicate's
there's not much going wrong in this game 3. I can
No.
tell you
Yeah,
that. Or game 4,
that's
excuse me.
yeah.
No, Replicate. You just say
That's
Replicate says he was a player, but he was a top tier player. He played in a team that took a couple tournaments from us. They went second in regionals last year. We
Mm.
went to on a 3-2 grand finals. So like he doesn't like know as a coach. He knows what players need and what has to be done in the game.
Yeah. That's really cool. I mean, top player experience is always going to make the best coaches. Like that's just it's going to be a huge deal. I was curious to see how you all played, like a final team fight when you're that far ahead. And well, I guess just Zora camping in a bush and pressing Unite move as soon as they all walk through is a good spot to be. Mazo, you're kind of a pseudo frontline sometimes in these team fights. Is that just like you're hunting for a Dodrio, just catch him out?
Yeah, I mean, you can see that we should at least have a core of 4 people. So we're gonna have me,
Mhm.
Soto, Leo, and Chandler always working together, and
Yeah.
Fob just looking for flanks. I'm playing more of like a frontliner as helpers. Like you see, Urshifu tries to go into Chandler, I quickly throw him away. Now he only has to deal with Dodrio. Like he's under turret, like it's fine to do so. And
Uh-huh.
I actually, when we have to play defense, if I don't have to do something creative or whatever, I'll just play defense. I'll just smack down the all-rounder away so that my attacker can play safely. I think
Mhm.
Buzzle is very underrated as a defender-ish champion. He
Yeah.
play like a defender in a team fight, and his premier thing is that he doesn't have to play like a defender the whole game, right? You can do damage, you can stomp your lane, you have a strong
Mhm.
lane and whatever. But that's how I love to play Buzzle.
Yeah, sometimes SmackDown just wins you games. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes you just throw them on a pit and all of a sudden you win. Yeah, okay. You didn't even need a Ray fight in this fight. That's pretty wild. Also, shout out to Chandelure yet again on a really crazy adaptation. So at this point, you reset bracket. So how determined was this? Was it like you were going in from loser side? Were you like, I mean, that 2-0 is never happening again. This is going to be, like, this is our match to win? Or was it like, okay, we have to be our absolute best if we're going to defeat Omega? Where were kind of the vibes at for your team?
from what I see, we were kind of confident because 3 losses in a row is rough
Uh-huh.
to come back and to have.
Yeah.
So the main focus was like, they are 3 losses in a row. Just don't give them tempo and don't let them come back to the series.
Mm-hmm.
Just stomp them as much as we can. So that was our main focus during the
Okay.
series.
Gotcha. Hoopa locked in finally.
Yeah, what's
Actually, in
the
this series, right?
aversion?
Both teams weren't playing Hoop at all.
Yeah, this is the first
Wow.
time Hoopa's played in Grands. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. What is the aversion to Hoopa? It seems like such a very strong character.
It was kind of something we were developing. Like Zoroark needs to have a peeling support, and Hoopa didn't do this that well. And since Omega is heavily strong in the top side and try to break towers as soon as they can, Hoopa wasn't really clicking against him. So
Okay.
Gotcha.
Replicates
It was-
giving a technical answer, but we had like 20% win rate with Hoopa in
No.
scrims, so we will not take it as
that's
champion.
not true.
That's not true.
That's not true.
It's
Oh,
it's
We-
28%.
we had
It's 28%.
30%.
30%. Yikes. Hey, sometimes you just got to go back to the drawing board. That's so funny. Tough spot to be in. Okay, interesting. All right, so Hoopa finally enters the battlefield. They also got Snorlax because you draft prio Trevenant in this matchup, which, I mean, you have Egg Bombs to counter Hoopa resets, which is probably just good enough. And now we also get Mew for the first time as well. How's Wolf's Mew? I guess I'm about to see, but
Insane.
I think
like,
it's the
Yeah.
second time, right? But
in
he's
this match, is it? Oh, I thought this was the
Yeah.
first
Nah,
time.
we were
think
picking
so.
Chandler to take away from
Yeah, Chandelure and
their
Milk,
attacker,
the first
right?
game.
Okay.
But
The first game we played was
he
Mazon.
was Gardevoir first game.
Yeah.
No, he was.
We had Chandler Gardevoir instead of Milk. I don't know what we're.
What
I don't know what
happened?
we're doing this year.
What
Watching back is
happened?
so bad. Watching back is so
Why
bad.
were we
Wolf is
guarding
such a good Milk
Chandelure?
player.
What the-
Like easily contest for best Milk in the world. Like I don't know why he can't play this champion
Yeah.
every time he wants. I don't remember if like it was bad Mew games. Mew is like the kind of character that I don't feel like there are bad Mew games. So
Yeah. It's very consistent for sure. You always have an option all the time. It's very strong. Yeah. Already at level 4. I feel like it plays really well in the Chandelure. Like Chandelure has such a hard time getting to 6 or whatever in this matchup. Like it seems really strong early game. I like it a lot.
this is a good example to try to talk about like Water or Dark Bear. You see like Fob died early in the lane.
Uh-huh.
So I don't have a free stomp on top side, so I'm not picking Water Bear. Maybe if like it will look like a 3v3, I'd pick Water. But since it's a 2v3 at the start of Bees and whatever, like, I'm not playing Water. I play Dark.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And we have Mew, so he could play Water Bear. We still have a secure.
Yeah, you have. I mean, any of Mew's moves, honestly, pretty solid secure options.
Yeah, right.
When it comes down to it, Electro Ball having splash damage pretty well.
So it was a little mentioned before, Mazu. You said, Fob now on the Dodrio, and it took them a moment to get onto the Zoroark. And you said, once they heat up and they're ready to go, they can really take over the game. But there were some moments, even in the start of the first series, where Dodrio might have been available, but the Fob confidence in that pick wasn't necessarily there yet because were they not warmed up enough, or what goes into that? Because I mean, we've seen them be so dominant in these last couple games that it seems like if you can get them online even earlier with one of those picks, then you would.
So can I explain it, Mazo?
Go ahead.
So in winners finals, I had Fob pick Dodrio. He said for me, I don't want to play Dodrio. They are topside 925. I don't want to play Dodrio. I said, please pick Dodrio and play against him. And we lost. And he was kind of not tilted, but he wasn't feeling Dodrio or Zoroark because of the winners finals. I think
Okay.
it was a rough game. So he was trying to kind of not avoid, but like pick other things that were good into the matchups. But
Okay.
don't pick Dodrio, don't pick Zoroark. First pick, let me feel if the draft is good for Dodrio, and then I pick it.
Sure.
One good thing about our team is that everyone's really self-aware. And so like Fob knows he isn't feeling confident on these speedsters. He knows like he has to build his confidence up. So it's like, okay, give me Blastoise. Like Blastoise is like such a comfortable pick, such a safe pick. Like I'm gonna be really good at the game. Like I can play this character well. Just give me Blastoise right now, and I'm gonna be fine. And like this is really good because like imagine if Fob was like a little, I don't know how to say it in English, but like I'm more stubborn about having to play carries, and I want to play carries. I want to dash around and yada yada yada, and like just never gets in the zone, right?
Mhm.
Everybody being so self-aware, so like, I know if I'm not playing well, I'm not. Don't give me Buzzle, give me like Garchomp, which is like more of a tank, or give me Blastoise because I'm not feeling too hot today.
Mhm.
This helps a lot in managing to make sure the people who are better at the day, who are having a better day, can be the carries of the day.
That's cool.
So how do
Yeah.
you manage that then? Because obviously there are some characters that are naturally stronger, and you can't always pivot to your comfort picks, right? At some point, you have to, give the game the high octane, right, and just deliver on it. So how do you balance that within your team to say, okay, like you may not have reached a level of comfort, but we need this Pokemon for this game. How do you balance that, whether it's within the game or in between games?
That's the Chandelure thing. Even Wolf wasn't feeling Chandelure. He didn't want to play Chandelure. He had to play Chandelure. It was like mandatory for our comp and strategy. So that's something you can't like discuss with. Of course, we have this. We try to be as respectful and like understandable as we can, but there are sometimes that you just can't. Like you have to play Zoroark, you have to play Dodrio. That's what happened with Falb too. So I said to him, you need to play Dodrio in this matchup. it's like what we need, and then he actually got it, and it wasn't that great, but that's the
Yeah.
thing. We
It
all
helps people being able to cover each other when they're like not feeling too hot, right? But
Mhm.
again, sometimes you do have to play. Like for instance, right now, not right now, but at the time of this tournament, let's say they leave Lapras open, but someone doesn't want to play Lapras. Like you don't have the choice. Lapras is just two
Yeah,
here.
yeah, that's
You
a
don't have
little.
Sure.
the option to not play Lapras, right?
Right.
One of the 5 players has to play Lapras, even if it's like Eldegoss Lapras. Like you have to play. You don't have a
Yep.
choice.
And
Okay.
just another
That
thing
makes
about
sense.
it, it's like Mazo plays all the characters really well, and he performs well with every character. So he shares the same champion pool with Falb and Wolf, so he can play Mew with Wolf is not feeling it. Chandler, as you said, as you saw, he can play Zoroark, Dodrio. So we have options if someone doesn't want to play it, because Mazo is so flexible and is so good with every pick.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense.
I was just gonna ask, how do you guys win this game? You're getting roasted so far in this matchup. I mean,
No,
comebacks.
Well,
we're
so-
fine. We're fine. We
Yeah,
just-
the
we
That's-
just made
comeback's
it.
starting, I
We're
guess.
We're cooking.
That's
we're
the
going
thing with
second,
Bleacy.
second turret. We're probably all dying here. We're probably losing more of the game. We're getting scored 50 on the side. This feels amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you did get Reggie a lucky. Very important. And you're getting shredded.
Oh my god! How
I
did
mean,
we miss
Machamp
this
just
so
No,
also
trust,
Machamp
trust.
probably doesn't get Unite back at this point though, right? Like that's
But like, our levels are fine. The only
yeah, you're
the
not
only
wrong.
one who's really strong is Zoroark. So
Yeah, the thing is, they don't really have a nice secure, and we have
Oh,
2 nice secures, and
I remember this game though.
only 160 score up. I don't know. I feel like our comp is late gamey enough to be able to play around. Like, look, it's not late game enough. We have Doldra and Mew. What the hell? How do we win
That's
this
the
game?
Bleacy diff too. So
Yeah,
we have
that's
a
huge.
better
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True.
we have
yeah,
a
true,
better
yeah.
team fight. So if we have
This actually makes a huge difference to the team.
yeah,
comp.
and
Hmm.
I remember this game because it's something that we did a lot in screens. So as you said, like we practice a lot with them, and we knew Frazetta would be here. So you'll see
Really.
Oh,
you'll
yeah,
see
we're
what
going to
will
hunt
happen.
here, right?
Yeah, we're going to hunt him.
That's so funny. What a call out. I mean, you pulled the
Yeah,
exact
see-
same move earlier in this match. I mean, not jumping on him, but like hiding in that exact same bush. This
And-
is
and-
so funny. They
we're
must
hunting
know.
him.
They must know.
See?
That's really funny.
Yeah.
So are you just trying to like play out of vision as long as you can? I mean, at this point, you gotta move, no trio.
Yeah, we knew he would have been here,
Yeah.
and then this happens.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
great
that's
escape
not
from
an
And
Unite.
then this happens.
Yeah,
Oh,
Machamp
beautiful.
Unite too.
That's a Machamp Unite, yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's how we win the game.
Uh-huh, yeah, hey, here you go. Those
Here
are
it
2
is.
big unites. I mean, Zork's got to go farm right now, so yeah.
If
you're
you
fine.
wait long enough, the opposing team is gonna do something wrong. So
Correct. Hey, it's a nice play. You're not wrong.
It works. It works out great. I mean, just
Mazu
understanding,
is
drawing out
hunting
the
again.
attention.
I'm so
Come on.
weak. What the hell?
Mazu is hunting again.
Oh, Celigor. That's a bummer. You gotta hate.
But that's
hate
fine,
him.
because
They still have Hoopa for refight, but they just took like such a safe portal. You must have almost got Hoopa, huh? And like forced Unite at that point.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
killed Snorlax and Chandler, so
Okay.
we're on a great spot here.
And like this is pretty easy.
Triple
secure.
secure,
And
and
four
Yeah.
four people using skills at the same time. Good luck stealing that with dynamic
Yep,
punch.
it works. All
Yeah,
right,
it looks great.
cool. All right, so now you're up. Next game. I mean, we are seeing the same. The bands don't
And-
change. The draft's getting pretty similar now too.
and again, like the
Ooh, I like the
red,
Mime Blissey pick though. That's a really cool draft decision. I like that a lot. Blissey's so good in this with Nintendo with Zoroark. That seems amazing.
and Mr. Mime was something that we practiced a lot
Mm-hmm.
against Chandler. Like it was such a great pick against it. So Soto was feeling it. Just give me Mime.
Give me mine.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That really makes sense. Very cool. Okay, we got the Buzzwole again. Ooh, do we go back to Guardy? I like that. Now, does this force out... Because they've been playing a lot of double attacker. Do they pick a Lola Ninetales here, or do they go back to that, like,
I
Decidueye
think it's
they picked?
Lucario. I think
What?
it's Lucario.
No shot.
Yeah, it's
Really?
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
their attacker only
Why?
has 2 picks. It's Chandler and Ninetales. Like it's
Yeah,
only those
Chandler
two.
and Ninetales,
so-
There's no third option.
Okay.
It's easier to draft against it.
I have no clue what he'd pick if there wasn't. Like, let's say we ban Chandler and first pick Ninetales. I have no clue what he picks.
Yeah,
No clue.
I
Slow
don't
bro
think he-
attacker. I mean, that might
Maybe.
be,
No,
might be the
no.
option. I don't know. Okay.
Yes, I can't even
Maybe a Sylveon,
fathom
I think.
what this Lucario is doing on the map right now.
Yeah, I don't know what.
It's just top
Why?
path hard, and then you just hard jungle this Urshifu, I suppose.
The
Interesting.
thing is, like,
mean,
they
I
were
can-
trying a lot to win top lane. So Lucario went up.
Yes.
Like
I can
that's the plan.
Because like you just lost 4 games in a row. You're
Yeah.
2 games short of being dropped, and like Omega doesn't qualify for Worlds if they lose, right? So they're not
Mhm.
like auto qualified. So you can't just be really. I mean, you can just be calm and like, oh, okay, let's just keep playing our game and see if we can win. No, you have to try things out, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
you've got 4
Um,
games in a row. You're right.
yeah.
That is something has to change. Okay.
So I wouldn't think that like they're tilting or whatever. It's just like it's hard to be in that position. So
For sure.
okay, so do we try and say like, okay, we can win for basic stress, or do we try something out? Like, I
Mhm.
can respect trying something out.
Okay. Yeah, I hear that. Yep, Mr. Mime does Mr. Mime things at 4. That's always pretty sick. to
Taking
see.
over.
Oh, but
Yeah, but Water Bear
unless-
is just Water Bear, right? So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water Bear doing Water Bear things.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of everyone filling their pre-written roles pretty well. The script is
Yeah.
popping off so far in this matchup. Fall Zoroark though has been really, really fun to watch. We've been talking this player up quite a bit. But I mean, Zoroark is going to be a contested pick at Worlds. There's some incredible Zoroarks. I mean, obviously Overlord, Klaus, and EU. Like, there's some pretty. How do we think that Fall stacks up against these other like jungler pseudo top picks? Like, where do we think that lands? In your two opinion.
Mm,
I'm
That's-
I'm really biased, but in my
Sure.
opinion, Fob doesn't fell off to anyone. He's like the best,
Okay.
in my opinion. But it's like Mazo said, like similar to our team, he can win against everyone, but he is the underdog. I think. Like,
Okay. Gotcha.
yeah, I
Well-
think it's just like people don't know him as well because like last year wasn't really the pop off year for him. Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
and,
tough showing.
Brazil. In the end of the day, like Brazil is a minor region in the game, right? So
Right.
even watching the games right now, people are like, okay, even if he's popping off just in Brazil. He just need the world's thing to show off how good he is, right?
Yeah.
But I do think like as practice also shows that like Bob isn't behind Klaus or Overlord by any means. Like,
Okay. I like
it's
to hear
basically, like,
that. Oh,
at the
that's so
worst
sick.
play, like at the worst play scenario, and I don't even think that's true, but like at the worst case, he's like even with him. Like I don't
Mhm.
think he's lagging behind by no means.
Okay. That's awesome. That's good to hear. Yeah, your tandem, like, I don't, obviously you two have been playing together a long time. That shows so well on paper. Like watching
Yeah.
Fob like hit feint attacks while you're hitting superpowers directly in line with them, like just perfectly timing those combos are so fun to watch. Like it's ridiculous. Your team is going to be such an exciting one. I mean, obviously coordination is going to be one of your team's biggest strengths, I think, but that's my opinion of your team's biggest strengths. How about you guys? What do you think what do you think 00 or 00 Nation is the best in the world at?
I'm not gonna lie. I think we're like the greatest business-like team in the world. So,
Okay.
like we have 4 people who excel at like if you go like through the mental thing is in business regard, you have people who are more generalists, like tend to be more leaders and whatsoever to do
Mhm.
a little bit of everything, and you have people who are specialists. We actually have that set really well. Replicate as a coach is really generalist, and I'm really generous in game as well.
Yeah.
And all other 4 players are extreme specialists. So like Fob is a specialist in like a couple champions that he has. Wolf as well. Leo is a specialist as a supporter, a healing
Mhm.
supporter specifically, and Soto's a specialist as defenders. Having that core, having that mentality, having that way to work inside a team is basically what makes us the best, I guess. And the other thing is we really don't have someone who has the urge to be a star player, and we feel that inside
That's
the team.
important.
So we really don't care. Like I say that a lot myself. I don't care if I have to play Gudra every single game. I don't care if I have to play Snorlax top lane every
Buzzle.
single game because I have a bad day. I don't care if I have to play Buzzle like every single bracket. I just want to win. If that's what it takes to win, like just give me to it. I don't need a single MVP to win Worlds, right? I just need to win the game. So I think everyone in the team has that mentality, and I think that helps a lot. And I think it is a big difference, because I don't know if every single team, like, this is just something if you play for the team, but I don't know if every single team has that. Like, people do feel like they don't have to carry the game in order to win. Like, I don't know if every team has that mentality.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
in
gonna
my
be
in my opinion, like we are really strong team fighters. Since XIS last year, I always thought they were the best team fighters in the world. Like, it didn't show off in Worlds, and it isn't. We aren't showing off our skills in this grand finals, but from what I see every day, we can win a team fight, like, from whoever is against us, in whatever conditions. Like, we're just strong team fighters overall. Like, we can win every way. I think that's our biggest, like strength. We just team fight so well. In my opinion, we can win every game.
I think you
Even
should
we-
all sell T-shirts that say 00 Nation, win every Ray. I think those would go hard. I think that's good merch
Yeah.
right there. Doobsnax, we get another jersey for you. Be sick.
I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in.
Here's my next question. Is the Brazilian fan base going to be out in force? Because they were so impressive in London last year. Would love to hear them go bananas again this year. What's the status of the traveling fan group?
Okay, well, that's a minor quantity. Like, we're gonna have less. Like,
Yeah.
in Japan, we're gonna have less fans than any other region. The good thing is,
Probably.
few Brazilian fans are loud as fuck, so they're gonna be screaming their hearts out. If we have like
Yeah.
2 people cheering on us, they're gonna feel like 1,000 people are in the venue.
Ugh.
Because, like, Brazilian fans go hard.
Oh,
This is
they
so
do.
much fun.
Okay, follow up to that. This is the more big picture eventually. Well, actually, let's watch this team fight first, and then I'll talk about it after. Obviously they got to play pretty defensive in the goal zone. You just got to protect Hoopa. Makes a little sense to me. Lucario's just looking to land one power-up punch to save the world. What's Felp hanging out top here? Who's he trying to catch out? Just looking for a good flank, or what's the situation?
Yeah, he's looking for a good flank right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Oh, that worked.
Found
Well,
one.
It
did
actually,
work.
it
What the hell?
almost did. It did not because
Where's
of a great
Leo's
Hoopa.
ulti? What the hell? Bro, I'm telling you, we're so bad. Forget
There
everything I
it
said.
is.
We're underdogs. We're going last. We're going eighth.
No, Lel's cracked
trust-
the code.
trust
It's
the
just
follow-up.
Bliss
Trust the
assistance on the
follow-up.
Salto. Bliss assistance on the Salto wins you games. I think we have figured out the code.
Soto pop off.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that barrier was so sick to protect the team. I love this mime. Never pick anything
I
but
love
mime.
Soto.
It's so sick.
I'm telling you, this guy's cracked.
That's
It's way
so
too
good.
insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you something, you won't believe it. He's so underrated in Brazil. So underrated.
Yeah.
Really?
He's
That's-
actually really underrated.
They're watching different games. I don't know
Like-
what to
Real.
tell you.
In Brazil, they see Soto is like, I don't get it actually. Like, it's maybe top 3 for some fans. It's
Mhm.
insane
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll say Soto is top 3. Like, that's, and to me, that's insane.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's, from what I've seen today, it definitely seems like a pretty clear tier list in my head of defenders. But that's sick. And then, of course, you just back cap here and run this one up. Okay, the question I had, I mean, obviously, hey, great games, everybody. The question I had in this this tournament, yeah, okay, it was closer than I thought. A little bit of a score race, but EU got an in-person event at EUIC. NA got an in-person event at AIC. Do you think that there is a chance that LAIC in the future we get Unite at it?
I mean, I do think there's a chance. Like,
Mhm.
we also have. Thing is, we do have the Unite main servers are in São Paulo, which is where me and Replicate live. Like,
Okay.
where most people do play Unite live. Like, a lot more live in Rio, but that's really cool. It's like 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
In the bus.
Gotcha.
So I do think it's possible. We do have events, reasonably big events here in Brazil for Pokemon. The thing is, I don't know how they would set it up because most of them are not in like an arena, how the NAIC and how UIC were. They are more open, so it's
Okay.
like if it rains is a big problem. Like
Sure.
the
Well, LAIC happens every year, right? There's the
Yeah,
Latin
it
America
does.
International Championships. And so far the pattern is Unite's been being added to those events. However, LAIC happens pretty early on in the year, I think. doobsnax, do you know when that tournament usually is?
I think it's the first one.
Right. It's definitely the first one, but I think it's like before season starts. I want to say it's like a winter tournament, is it not?
Yeah, I think it's like Q4 of the year you're in.
Right. So it's
there
like
was
December time.
there was actually one. I don't know if it was LAIC. Replicate may know because he's like a bigger Pokemon nerd than I am. But
Got
I
him.
think it was like right after May finals or right after April finals. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
It was São Paulo regionals, right? It was in
It was
the
São Paulo
regional.
regionals. Oh, okay, so it was.
Yeah, and it was in the same weekend as the regional finals.
Yeah. I remember that. We played on Saturday and Sunday would be the event.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, like a regional tournament or something like that. Yeah.
That's São Paulo TCG and VGC regionals, right? It was that.
Yeah. I really hope that we get an in-person Latin America event in general. I think even if it was just Brazil, that would be great too. But I mean, dream come true. It's like LATAM, North, South, and Brazil all at one event. I think that would be so fun.
That would
I
be
think it's
crazy.
quite possible because, like, as far as I know, I think Replicate told us when the LAS casters do their thing, like do the AOS Cup from LAS or the regionals for LAS is in the same studio that the Brazilians do.
It's in the same
so it's
studio.
probably going to be all
cool.
in the same place, even if it's still different regions. It's going to be in the same place,
I got
in the same venue. It is
cool.
They come to Brazil to cast. What is happening, man?
I'm telling you, we're so bad.
Yeah,
Such a
Replicate,
bad
break
luck.
this one down for me.
swear
What's
we're
going
Why do
on?
we have
Super
a
better
A9? What is happening?
Yeah, the A9 pick was interesting. I mean, they counter-drafted Buzzwole against you. Obviously, they were sick and tired of dealing with Buzzwole. That did, however, mean that Mazo gets Urshifu. So, I mean, take one.
Why are we
or the
not
other.
on Guardy? Can you explain it for me, Mazo?
What?
Why we are playing A9? Not Gardevoir?
I don't know. I remember that Wolf just said, "I want A9 here," like out of
Cool.
nowhere. So we're like, okay, if you want A9, you can pick it. I asked him later. I was like, bro, you just picked A9 because you wanted to eagle on the opposing attacker because you just played Chandler A9, right? So you won with Chandler, you want to win with A9 right now. He just goes, no, I just think A9 is cool against Trevenant and Buzzle, and it would be good in the game. Okay.
It is.
I mean, it's
I-
really good
right.
against those two picks.
Yeah,
That
he's
is
right.
definitely
I'm,
true.
I'm glad it wasn't
But-
an ego thing. Like, that's
Yeah. At least it's not an ego thing. That's funny. By the way, chat, this is the last game. Spoiler alert again. So if you have questions that you want to ask, well, me or doobsnax or our guest replicator Mazo, please feel free to send them. They just will need to be in English so I can read them. I'm so sorry. So if you want to ask questions, feel free to send them in chat while we watch this final match.
This is the craziest game I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This
Really?
is insane.
This is a
Before
banger.
we get
This one's
into
a
it,
banger.
I do
This
have
is
to
a
ask-
banger. This
okay.
is a banger.
Before we jump into this fight, though, how do you guys feel about Japan right now as a region? Someone's asking if you've looked at their play style.
You
I
go
am-
replicate.
Yeah,
I am-
Replicate. How's the scouting going?
I am a big fan of Japan since last year.
Mhm.
I am a big Swix and P fan for real. Like
Okay.
I always looked for them, and as a Dragonite player, Swix was always one of the best Dragonite players in the world. So
Right.
for me, they were clearly a top tier region. But since the tier 1 seed, the top one of Japan couldn't go last year, we didn't see their full potential last year.
Okay.
I think with Oyasumi Macro this year, we'll see what Japan is really about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they are one of the strongest regions in the world.
Wow.
They are mechanically like one of the greatest teams, and I just want to see how they adapt to the meta, because that's what happened in last Worlds. Like they couldn't. The teams that adapted the, the better actually plays better. So
Okay.
that's my main question right now. If they can
Replicate
adapt.
actually is such a simp for that team that he got so mad when they went fourth. He's like, bro, they barely qualified. I'm so mad. Like I sent an angry message to mommy and P. Like, how come you guys go
I
fourth?
probably
What the hell?
talk
Imagine
about
if you go make
Japanese
worlds.
teams since February. Like they
That's
are
so
the best.
funny.
I'm in. Oh,
Sorry, I mean
Okay.
this match has been great. You've been getting stomped for a minute, so it's fun
Bro,
to see
how
the
come
twist.
we're 200 points behind before 5 minutes? Like 6 minutes on the record, we're 200 points behind.
And you have
That is
Dodrio.
normal.
You have Dodrio. What's
you're
happening?
bad at the game.
Dojo
Mazon,
wasn't.
for real.
Fab was right. Dojo wasn't it. in this
No.
series. It wasn't.
Yeah. Paul was right.
Paul was
My
right.
bad.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Paul, if you're hearing this.
Zoinks, who is Bubble MOBA? I don't know how to answer that question.
Bro,
Doobsnax.
Oh my
Like,
God.
if you don't understand the question, you probably shouldn't. Like, it's just a player from Brazil. Like,
Okay.
it's just
okay.
a player. Like, and there's some memes behind the player name, and that's it.
I see. Love him. I don't know if that's a controversial take.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Doobsnax,
no.
who's your
it's,
Taylor?
fine. It's okay.
That's
you
fine,
can
that's
love it. You
fine.
can love it. It's fine.
You can love it.
Doobsnax, who is your Taylor?
Who's my tailor?
Yeah.
Amazon.com. Jeff
Nice.
Bezos is my tailor.
Shout out to the one and only Jeff Bezos. Love it. Okay, Reggie Alecki, you can't let this go to your tier 2. Not at 4 minutes. That's rough.
We're 200
farming
points
up.
behind. Oh my God.
Yeah, this is not good. This isn't replicate. You gotta
This
fix
is not good. This is not good. Yeah.
No, you're just
Paul was
lulling
right.
the other team into a false sense of security, and you're gonna get them.
I will say,
No,
I see
you're
why.
gonna
I see
say
why they
what
have
happened.
draft priority so high on Chandler. Their Chandler's really good.
Yeah, it is. He is. Like,
Yes,
he was
yes.
actually, in my opinion, he was one of the main reasons why they were having so much success in these regionals.
Yeah.
Like, he actually started playing as a jungler for their team, and when Frazetta came in, then they swapped in to bot side. There are a lot of things they say like it helped with the team. Apparently, he was like really quiet
Okay.
during games because he really wanted to focus on himself, and it's really hard to do that as a jungler because you want to bounce up and down and do rotations around the map and whatsoever. So it's
Control the
really hard.
tempo of
So
the
when he
team.
switched to a role where he could focus more on what he was doing, like
Mhm.
he leveled up exponentially. Like he leveled up a lot.
Okay. Cool.
He-
Well,
he's better at mages than he's
Yeah,
at
yeah,
assassins.
also.
Like he was playing Dodro and suddenly he's playing Chandler. He's
Let's
better
play
at
like
Chandler.
Absol. Remember when he was playing
Yeah,
like
like,
Absol out of nowhere?
So
like,
Talonflame Dodrio, that was their pool. Like,
okay.
their jungle pool was
Oh,
Only
do you
that.
catch Trev? You got X
Nah,
speed
you-
out?
you-
No, no
you
way.
can
No,
never
You're not getting. You're not
do
getting
that.
Trev.
This character's way
No.
too broken.
I'm kind of curious where this thing goes because you guys are like down in experience in a pretty
Yes,
reasonable
that-
way
Uh-huh.
too here. Eh?
it just gets crazier. I can assure you that.
Okay, good.
If you didn't see it, you're gonna explode. Your mind is gonna blow.
All right, I'm excited.
don't
I'm
know how
excited
it-
to watch it. I really am.
Yeah.
Oh, Soto played mining so many
Oh
games
wow,
in these
Kelly saying it's
finals.
the
What
most
hell?
insane game they've ever seen in their life. I mean, okay, levels wise, I mean, Falb's doing okay. Mazo, you're fine. You're at 12. Like this is manageable. Okay, great positioning by Omega on their support core. They got all.
And we're
Oh
hunting
no,
again.
but they split. Why'd they split so
We're
much?
hunting.
I'm like cheering for Omega in this fight, even though I know the results. I'm
That's
like,
fine.
no, why did you split? Okay, so the
Oh, no.
huge call out on the Buzzwole, you know exactly where he is.
Yeah.
Forced out of United, but the whole team pulls up for the smoke. That's what I like. Everybody went for the call
Mhm.
out there.
Okay,
All right.
but they
Don't
turn and
forget-
burn.
Don't forget
And-
Zoroark. Don't forget.
Where's Zorak?
Oh, and
Oh,
they
yay!
Oh my
Are you
God.
serious?
Okay, so they get Ray. Okay, he doesn't have a
Yeah.
full pocket, so he's gonna get 68 off the dunk. But Chandelure can't score. There's no way Chandelure scores now that Mazo's back.
They
So
have an airship, right?
right, yeah,
Shit.
you're gonna hit below shields. That's huge. Okay,
The
Wolf
wood hammer's
scores.
too late?
Okay.
Okay, this is insane already.
Oh my
Baby
gosh,
Mazon,
Urshifu
oh my
draft
God.
diff. That Pokemon's insane. How is that the only thing that does true damage in this game anymore? Anyway,
Yeah.
All right, Buzzwole pick. Nice A9 play there.
yeah.
Wolf actually is trying to ego him. I don't believe him when they say
Oh, you're still down by so much. Like, this is insane. I guess it's only Zorak left, though. I don't know how. You must have killed Shandy on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I had
okay.
ulti,
Oh,
so
but they have
Urshi
the
full ulti,
tier 1. The tier 1's still up.
Okay, so you Urshi ulted. Yeah, I mean, tier 1 being up there is weird, though, because Sapt only had 40. If that was a tier 2, that's like 2 dunks at the same time, which is
Right.
like.
There we go.
Okay, there you go. And then you have Dodrio. You're good.
But Dojo solo killed Zoroark on the tier 3.
Oh,
Right?
really?
Their
Okay,
base, it
in home
was-
base.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'd be panicking when I saw that, but now you get the 14 in too. Okay, all right. After all these scores, did you know you were in the lead after this?
No.
Only
No?
Wolf. Only Wolf. Wolf
Yeah,
said it
I play
confidently.
on I play on Switch, so I'm like, Leo is right beside me, and I'm like, wait, did you win? Did you win? Did you win? Like, self for mobile player to see earlier, right?
Uh-huh.
And then when it says
Oh
we,
my
when it
word.
says we won, like every phone almost broke. Like we're jumping around. This is such a good way to finish a tournament.
Yeah, what a crazy finale.
That was a great way to end. Yeah,
Unreal.
for sure.
Okay, well, I mean, congratulations again to the two of you on a wicked good tournament run. That was a lot of fun to watch. That was really interesting. Kelly saying they were screaming at home. They were so excited. I mean, of course, you gotta cheer them on.
I like the completely illegal comeback. Ain't that the truth? Yikes.
Yeah, that is wild that you were able to bounce back from that. I mean, just good play. I mean, the fact that you like solo ulted the Chandelier was kind of huge there in the end. Their respawn timer must have been wild for you to get all the way across
Chandelier
the back and score.
would cancel everyone's score.
Mhm.
It was
That's
clutch.
that's just Pokemon Night. The better you play, the more punished you are for dying.
Yes.
For any reason. So.
Uh-huh. That is true. That is very true. All right. Well, I think I mean that brings us to the end of the regional final. I think this was so much fun. Thank you to the two of you for being willing to talk all of this. It was a great time. doobsnax, any final questions that you wanted to throw away to these two?
Nope. Just that I'm excited for you all to get to Japan and compete on the big stage and deliver on some of the things you talked about today. It's going to be very exciting. And congratulations again for qualifying for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously I want to say the same to you. I cannot wait to watch you all play in Worlds. It's going to be a lot of fun. Good luck in your prep. I know you guys are practicing so hard. But to close us out though, the two of you, do you have anything you want to plug? Any socials, anything like that? Where can people follow 00 Nation? And of course the two of you. Mazo, why don't you go first?
Sure. I'm Baby Mazon everywhere, like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, like Twitch, YouTube. Anything you want to know about me is just Baby Mazon. And yeah, blessed being here, and I'm looking forward to meeting both of you in Japan.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Replicate.
Well, you can find me as Replicate Colt, COLT, in every socials. I think maybe not on Instagram, which is Real Replicate Colt, but that's mainly it.
Cool. All right. Well, go follow these two and the rest of 00 Nation. Of course, they're going to be joined by True Esports as well, who's going to be going to Brazil. We didn't get a chance to talk about them too much on this show, but they, of course, are another region. And one more announcement for the end of the show. Tomorrow night at 11:30 Eastern, we are going to be covering APAC West with Daniele, a caster from APAC West. So we're going to be doing another VOD review tomorrow night, and of course, many more to come in the weeks leading up to Worlds. It's going to be so much fun. But until then, I'll see you all next time, and make sure to tune in tomorrow. All right? Bye, everybody.
Bye.